Somebody's coming in. Hold on, y'all just give me just a second. Wait a minute, that's not what I want. Do. I didn't come to kiss the bride. I did all that years ago. Let's see. Paste. And where's my send button? Send. Okay, she just sent me a thing, says she's having trouble connecting or something, but she'll be here shortly. All right, now that y'all have put up with that, at least I'm glad that I didn't forget to put the link or do the link to her. I've been in there listening. Y'all know I got to get pepped up. Somebody's coming in my house. Trouble just come in my house. If y'all had never watched, there's a group, well, they're not together anymore. There was kids when they got together. It's called OMGG, and only mostly gals and girls.
Hi.
Hey.
Pop.
Pop. Say I love Pop.
I love Pop.
Say good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everybody.
Anyway, so I had them on this morning. I had a song called Years Ago. It was an old Statler Brothers. Old Statler Brothers tune called Years Ago. One of the lines, or one of the last lines said, "Give the bride and groom my best and tell her mom and all the rest that I was here, but I really had to go. Reception line too long outside, and I didn't come to kiss the bride. I did all that years ago." Is that not hilarious? Riley thinks it's like, let me see who's in the house. In the house. Let's see. We got Wendy from Willow Way. Appreciate you being here. There's Heather. Thank you, Garden. The Strawberry Queen. Got the Down Under folks. Good evening and morning. This morning, evening over there. It was morning last night. She was on, I think, Steven's live. And anyway, show you how to root a rose and tell you that, hey, sis. Good morning.
Good morning.
She'll tell you how to root a rose. Let's see. Gwen from Broke Cowgirl Homestead. Howdy, everyone, and good morning. Let's see what we got in here. 12 Stones Ranch. Is that Byron? 12 Stones Ranch. Oh, and I see Monica made it, so I'm thankful for that. Didn't have a clue what I was going to talk about. Nick, how in the world are you? Good to see you. Nick is one of them Texas boys, and y'all need to go check him out. I like his channel. There's Zany May from Spring Meadow Farm and Garden, and I always enjoy watching her videos as well. Got Eric. I never can remember where Eric is from. Maybe some of y'all know Eric. Maybe Eric can tell me. Hey there, Hendrickson Family Farm. Is that Mitchell? I think I've already asked you that question, but I ask a lot of questions. Let's see what we got going on here. Good morning, Danny from Wicked Awesome Gardening.
Good morning, Danny.
Did you say good morning?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We got Cody from Hog Deer 79. Are you growing a beard and mustache? You like that?
Yeah.
Kind of right on, isn't it, man?
It is.
You know, I grew this because I was on MT Homestead's live Sunday, this past Sunday, and I wanted to be like Mike. Everybody wants to be like Mike, so I tried to grow it real quick, but I should have started a little bit earlier. And then I thought, well, just leave it on because I'm going to have Monica and, you know, Eric, he's got that full, I mean, it's like, I think he could shave it all off and the next day it'd be back like it was. It's just a perfect beard. So I said, well, I'll do that, but It's not happening, folks.
Butterfly.
Hey, man. Raised
Hey,
outdoors.
Dad.
Raised outdoors. Arkansas. How in the world are you? Y'all go check his channel out. I like his channel. Let's see. I have done skipped ahead in the my chat thing. Boom. Went way out of control here for some reason. I'm not real sure. So I missed some folks. Got LB from Woman's Outdoors. Thank you for coming. I'm going to have to hurry up through this. Let's see. There's Miss Brenda. She has to fix breakfast. Oh, you got a storm? Hey, I tell you what, y'all have gotten some storms up there in Oklahoma and all that area. Oklahoma, Arkansas, Kansas. Y'all need to start living right. That's all I got to say. There's my neighbors.
There's my neighbors.
Robin and Jerusha from Gossmania Homestead. They're down a little bit south. Yes, Statler Brothers. Hey, these kids that I was listening to, OMGG. And I can't remember. It just say OMGG years ago. Just talented. I mean, just unbelievably talented. They're grown now, but at the time of the video, they was just kids, you know. Some of them teenagers. One of them may not even been a teenager. I don't know. But there's something. Let me get on down through here. See, there's Miss Linda. How in the world are you, Miss Linda? Georgia. Isn't it Georgia? Yeah, Georgia. Georgia. You going to sing with me?
Yeah.
The whole night through. That's beautiful. There's Laura. I'm just assuming Laura from Hedgehog's Homestead. I think Chris had to go back to work. He's been working. He has been working. This thing jumped on me again. Homestead beer. Homestead beer. All right, I'm trying not to miss y'all. I apologize. You thought I was joking on the fire ant video? I figured you was. Listen, I put out a little fire ant video. Well, thank you. I don't know what that's for.
For kissing.
And I got to realizing it only applies to a very handful of people because, I mean, people up north and in other countries probably don't even know what a fire ant is. But if you down in Mississippi, Louisiana, Georgia, Texas, we got the fire ants. You put that soap on it,
more fire.
Clears it up. All right, this thing jumped on me again. I'm not going back up. To look, if I missed you, I am so sorry.
I'm so
let me show you what Blender won. No, there's something in here. Let's see what it says. Lavender peppermint soap from Bare Bones Living. Can you see that? Woo!
Woo!
Ooh, Blenda's going to be smelling good. About time. I hope she don't watch this. But anyway, yeah, she got that. That was the first. She was moderator. I had to be gone. I'm Amanda's one of her moderators, and I had to be gone. I had to go take care of some stuff for my mother. She needed some medicine, and had to put a light up over their sink, and so I was gone. Yeah, Charity just come in and said she's still in that. You better not. Anyway, so I wasn't here to moderate, so I showed Blenda how to do the little things real quick. So she was on it, and she won some soap. First time. She's like that, though. She's lucky. I took her fishing years ago when we first got married, and she outfished me, so I didn't take her fishing again, so I don't reckon I'm going to let her moderate anymore. Got little man down on the floor. We won't tell. Yes, there is, Byron. It sure is. Storms here. We finally getting some rain, and I'm thankful for that. We've been dry. I've been coughing up dust balls here. I don't know how you got in my lap. She just kind of does that. Y'all, if y'all would, get a seat up close to the front. I know if some of you may be Baptist, so you're not used to that, but get a seat up close to the front. I don't want you standing or anything, but if you would, give a big YouTube welcome to Miss Monica from Bland's Promised Land Farm. How you doing, Monica?
I'm close. Hi, how are you? Can you hear me?
Pretty good.
You pretty good?
Yeah.
Kind of got like a little delay or something. You had a little issue coming in?
I did. My computer wasn't working well with me.
I can hear you.
Can you hear me? Okay, good.
Yeah, you're fine now.
Okay,
You're
good.
fine now.
I love your echo.
I got my little girl here to help me. I don't. Good morning. Can
She's
you hear me?
Yeah, she's your human echo. I love it.
I know nothing else.
I think she's on the delay.
Am I
I
delayed?
think she's hearing us about 5 or 10 seconds ago.
Oh no.
Mom.
Yeah, you way behind on us, Monica. I don't know what's wrong with you. I'm just gonna blame you.
Yeah, it's my internet. It's got to be. I'm looking to make sure it's just. Hold on.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to carry on a conversation from when I got to go back and think about what I said.
Oh no.
Let me ask you, if you hear me right now. Okay, she don't hear me right now.
I can hear you right now.
I
can see.
I don't think there's a delay.
I'm looking on my internet.
Delay, but it is here. And Dale, it may be me.
I'm looking on my
me.
phone, and we're looking like we're real time there.
Hey, sweetie, can you get down for a minute?
But I gotta come up.
Can you get down for just a minute? I don't know. I don't know what it is. I never generally have. What's that?
Can you hear me still?
I just want to stay in the car.
I don't know how y'all are saying it's not a delay. Everybody says it's not a delay, but you're coming in. Everybody says that it's fine except for me. Hey, Katie. You think I'm the only one delayed? Maybe I am. How do I fix that? I don't know how to fix that.
I can hear you. Do you want to take me down and bring me back up?
There's Shane. Great Farmers Line, the most encouraging man on YouTube. Let's do something because I've got an issue here. I'm not real sure how to fix it. Do you mind dropping down?
Sounds
and then
good.
Coming back in?
Yeah, let me drop out completely.
Does that make sense?
Yep, and then I'll
She's
come
gonna
right
have
back
to hear
in.
me in about 2 seconds.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna see if she's gonna come back in, and we'll see if that resolves the issue. I honestly don't know what it is. If y'all got some ideas, hey there, Scott. If y'all know why that be, I don't have anything else on. All I've got is this StreamYard on. I've never had any issues before. Eric, from wherever he's from, says it's a conspiracy. We got lazy days ahead now. Now we're gonna get things fixed. Things fixed. We all got Monica, and she said, "Let's mess with him." Scott can help. Well, I wish somebody would, because I don't know what to do. See if she'll come back up real quick. There, hold on. It's kind of coming in and then going away. Let's see if this works better. How about now?
Now?
Yeah.
Hey,
you good now?
Perfect.
I don't know what in the world was going. Everybody was saying that it was sounding fine, and they could hear both of us, but you was like about 5 seconds behind me, or even longer.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. I promise I was not messing with you. Although that would have been a really funny joke. I wish I would have thought about it sooner.
That would have been hilarious, but operator error. Well, yeah, you can have that. There you go. Y'all, if y'all don't have grandkids, y'all don't understand the concept of that you have no space, you have nothing is yours anymore. They come over, they require all of your time and all of your food. And it don't matter what you're doing, they require it right now.
I think that's just small kids. I mean, like under the age of 10 pretty much have they don't have any sense of space.
Really?
Yeah.
Mine always did. Mine always behaved perfectly.
Yeah, mine don't.
I almost said that with a straight face, didn't I? All right.
Oh my goodness.
Andale says she's not going to have her Tuesday today. She's trying to get me all tongue-tied here.
That's so sweet, Ann.
Yeah. Well, it's harder for the grandparents. That's right, because we can't say no.
Oh, it must be terribly difficult for you as a grandparent.
It's not in our vocabulary.
Well, I think maybe it just comes. I don't know. I don't really know if it has to do with the kids as much as I think the age of the parent or grandparent. Because like once I hit 40, I just became a yes man or a yes woman. I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, I mean, my youngest is almost 6. And he'll ask me to do the most ridiculous things. Hey, and I'm just like, sure, whatever. That's fine. Don't kill yourself. It's fine. Like,
isn't that amazing? Because you just had one married off, didn't you?
I did. My oldest is 22, and he got married last year. They just celebrated their 1-year anniversary.
Oh, has it been a year? Goodness
It's
gracious.
been a year, and today is my 25th anniversary.
Well, happy anniversary. Hey, y'all, did I hit the jackpot or not? I got Monica on her 25th.
I know.
Hey, Eric's better. He's going to have to do you good. This on the 25. 25 is like a special one for some. I don't know why, but 25 is a special one.
Yeah. So, well, it's like a big number. You're like, oh my gosh, I've been married for a quarter of a century.
Yeah.
Feels
well,
big.
when you say it that way.
See, it feels big.
It does. I tell you.
But yeah, my youngest basically the youngest 5 boys, they pretty much own me. It's bad. Like I had willpower for the first 3 and I could say no. I was really good. Thank you guys so much. And I had willpower for the first 3. And then the last 5, I mean, I'm just like, yeah, sure, whatever. Just don't hurt yourself. It's fine.
I only had 4.
Yeah.
But I know exactly what you mean. The first 2 was like,
yeah,
y'all can't do a thing and sit right there, do nothing until I get back. And my other 2 was like, they're hanging, going across the road, running down the highway.
Yeah.
And, I'm like, as long as they're not hurting anything.
You're like, don't break anything. Don't kill yourself or kill someone else. You're fine.
Yeah. At least don't make me have a hospital bill. That's
mainly it. Yeah. I always say, look, guys, I don't have the money for a hospital visit right now. The copays are like really high. I'm just going to need you to not have to go to the hospital. That's really my requirement. But I had standards for the first 3. Like Eric would preach these like platform services. We would go into the city in Baltimore, and he would preach at platform services all around the city with other preachers, and they would preach revival Sundays. And like I had standards. My oldest 3, they knew how to sit down in church, how to be, just like quiet as a mouse. They had like organized little books I would bring them so they could follow along with Dad's sermons. I mean, it was like on. And then I got old, and now in church, my kids are like hanging on my arm, and I'm like, shh.
Yeah.
And they're like, can we put stickers on your arm? And I'm like, I don't care. Put stickers on my arm. So like I leave, and there's like stickers on my arm. They're like drawing on their own hand. I'm like, just be quiet. Just be quiet.
They come in perfectly groomed and everything. When they leave, they got magic marker all over their face and down their arm.
Yeah, they're like laying on the floor under the seats. I'm like, as long as you're quiet, you can sit there. Just be quiet. And then my other requirement is don't fall asleep in church. Don't be that rude kid. So my 13-year-old will sit there like this. And I'm like, dude, if you fall asleep, we will fight later. Do not fall asleep.
Hey, I have the advantage because, I'm up in the pulpit. I'm looking out over them. And if I start to see them, the slack jaw and the droopy eyes and all that, I stare at them until they look at me. They can feel me.
Yes.
I give them that look from the pulpit that they know.
I think it's the difference too of being like the preacher's kids and like the preacher's wife and being in them like first few rows to like now where we're not in that situation because he's not a pastor. He's not a preacher now. He's not preaching every Sunday. We're in the back. We're just hanging out. We're, just listening. And there's a big difference. And so my kids are kind of like,
oh, yeah.
So
Jerusha's saying, hey.
Hey, everybody.
Well, ours, mine still had to sit up close to the front. I got to have somebody up close to preach to because everybody else is in the back. But, and when my two oldest ones, which Charity, she's here, but she got in trouble a good bit. She was hard-headed, though. She still is. But, my oldest son, I think he got brought out of church every Sunday. Glenda had to take him out and give him an attitude adjustment. And then, of course, when Faith and Paul came along, it was like, the marker thing. It was like, we don't care. Just do whatever.
I was going to say, usually the second one is the one that gives you the hardest trouble. Like I've found with my experience with my friends and stuff too. My number one, he was so chill. My oldest, he was just so chill. Like he was chill. He was super lucky. Like you were talking about Belinda, like we would go somewhere. And if we had like a little raffle ticker or something, we would get at a store. We'd hand it to Caleb because my oldest, he could put it in his hand and they'd be like, blah, 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 blah. And they'd call his name, call his number. He'd win everything. Just win everything. He walked into the room a few weeks ago for that Kentucky Derby. And I said, Caleb, we're all picking what horse is going to win. And he's like, number 21, whatever the last one is. And I'm like, okay, that's okay, Caleb. No joke. We stood there and watched the whole thing and it won. And I was like,
yeah,
how'd you do that? He's like, no, Mom, I just picked the one I thought would maybe have the lowest odds. And I'm like, you're so silly. Can't believe that. But the second one's the one that's the hard head. That's the one that's always given me.
Wait. We can't leave this subject just yet. I need to be put on y'all speed dial because I need to know some of this stuff. I'm always up for a good deal. And if he can pick the lottery number, I'm in.
I wish he could pick. Well, see, none of us, we don't do lottery. We don't do any of that stuff.
Either, but
I told him, I said, man, I told Eric the one day, I said, could we just give someone a lotto ticket numbers and maybe see if it works? He's like, no, Monica, we're not doing that. I was like, please.
I
mean, is it technically gambling?
I had my daughter, my youngest daughter, she's 20. How old is Faith now? 24? Yeah, she's like 24. One time we was cooking something and I needed some wine to cook with. And I said, it ain't going to look good for me to walk into the liquor store. She said, don't worry, Daddy, I've got it handled. I said, what are you going to do? You better not. And she said, I know somebody. Kind of made me wonder.
It's funny because I wanted to make some tinctures, some homemade tinctures with there you go. Teresa says she'll do it. She can do it. I wanted to, I had some herbs. I wanted to make some homemade tinctures, but I needed like 90 proof vodka and they don't just sell that. And I thought they might've sold it in Walmart here in Texas. I mean, they sell a lot of stuff in Walmart here in Texas or in Costco, but they don't that I needed. I couldn't find it. So Eric and I were like hem haw and he's like, I feel like I can't go to the liquor store. Eric, we haven't been to the liquor store.
Hey, I don't know how long. Hold on just a second. I don't know how long that's been up. Hey, Charity, I don't know how long this has been up on the bar. So she's. I'm sorry. My granddaughter was grabbing a drink that was on the bar for probably 4 or 5 weeks, I'm sure.
No, no problem. No, I was just saying it's funny because we didn't want to go in the liquor store. We were like, I'm like, I'm not going in there. Somebody could see us. He was like, I know. And so we hem-hauled him. And he just said, you know what? I'm an adult. I can do what I want. And he walked in and he got his bottle of, vodka, 90 some proof, and then walked out. But it was just like, we were like afraid. We were like, who's going to see us?
I like that. He said, I'm an adult.
Yeah, he's like, I'm an adult. But he did run in there like he was still like 18 again, trying to do something illegal. Like he ran in there like he was going to slip him a fake ID or something. I don't know, but yeah. I waited in the car.
I want to do some of them tinctures, and not just tinctures, but I want to do them extracts. And you got to have the vodka for that. And so I'm going to have to get somebody sneak in and get.
You just need to slip someone some cash and have them go buy your liquor for you. Okay. They'll be like, don't worry, it's not for me. It's for Pastor Chuck. It's
yeah. I could see it. Any other time it wouldn't be a problem, but that's very specific day. As soon as I come out of the liquor store, there would be like the local news channel, no, the national news channel doing some kind of report, and there I would be,
Yeah. Yeah, that's the fear, I think. We're always like, whoa. Teresa said she'd buy it for us too. She'll take the lotto tickets and she'll buy it.
Yeah, after she wins the lottery, I'm sure she will.
Yeah. Well, we might just have to
give her money, though.
Yeah, I might just have to drive down to Houston and go shopping down in South and do it there. And I'll just drive like 5 or 6 hours away and then come back.
Well, you got Jesse down there.
Yeah, I'll have Jesse buy it for me. Yeah, and then I'll come meet him and get all my liquor that I want to get. So that way no one sees me up here.
Hey, Carla Vision, how in the world are you? And we also got, hold on, the thing skipped. Tony Renee. It's good to see you, Tony Renee. Just tell folks you were going into the liquor store to remove the spirit.
That's a great idea. That's exactly right.
I know. Always. I'm here with Chuck.
Well, this isn't my money. This is from Chuck. It's not mine.
Yeah, Jesse probably already has it. Hey, Jesse, I need to get up with you about some of that vanilla stuff. I don't know why I was thinking about that. I guess because Charity's in the house. I need to get her some of that because she does a lot of baking, and they got a bakery in the town here that she kind of works for on a little bit on the side. And
yeah, making your own homemade vanilla is amazing. I have a friend that started me on that, and I've been watching Sandy over at Suburban Homesteader, and she was talking to us about making vodka the one time, and I was like, making vanilla. And I was like, okay, I got to do it. I got to make it now.
Yeah, I know it looks so easy, and it looks like it'd be, because that extract stuff is pretty expensive, I think.
Well, the extract used to be, we were buying, my mother-in-law and I were buying it from Costco, and we were getting it for like, last year it was like $26 for a small bottle, like nothing bigger than my water bottle. Right. And then I was in there a few weeks back and it was only $11 for the same bottle. And I called my mother-in-law and I was like, Costco has it for like $11 for vanilla. She was like, okay, we're going to have to get us some just until our homemade vanilla is done, because if you can get it cheaper, do it. But you never know. Everybody will the price will go back up again. So,
well, the thing about it is, Monica, I don't know what a bottle of vodka costs anymore. That's been, let's see, probably not quite, about 37, 38 years ago, the last time I probably have ever darkened the door.
Yeah. Well, the vanilla is cheaper, but I don't know how much the vodka costs. But I know that you can use it's ratio wise. It's good for the vodka and the vanilla beans. I bought my vanilla beans from Native. It's called Native something, and I got a bunch of vanilla beans for a really good price. So it's worth it, I think. Yeah, there you go. Teresa says under $20.
Under $20. Well, I wouldn't have a clue. You want to sit down here by me, sis, and speak to everybody?
I can. Let me
Come on over here.
I was just trying to get away from my kids.
She was trying to get away from the kids. That ain't gonna work. I know. Let's see.
Hi.
Do you know Monica?
I don't believe I do.
Let me see.
I've been kind of absent from YouTube the last couple months. Taking a
I
break.
understand. I understand completely. Well, during the day, I'm not always able to get on lives. It's really nice to be able to catch them sometimes. And if I'm on lives during the day, I'm usually just a like background stalker that doesn't talk. So I'll watch live sometimes, but I don't really communicate because it's just easier to turn it on my phone and let it run and listen in on all the happenings and continue to work on whatever I'm doing with those kids, with the schooling, or if I'm cleaning up the kitchen, or if I'm out in the yard. Hi.
Hi. Can you wave?
Oh, hold on. Wave.
Can you wave? Say hi.
Tell Miss Monica, say, how much you love Pop? How much you love Pop? What's he being so shy for?
He's in a mood this morning.
He's in a mood.
Yeah.
I when he was, well, he's 3 now. Almost 3. Hold on. I'm trying to get this computer situated. When he was very, very little, I taught him how to say, when I say, how much you love Pop, he'd raise his hands up. How much you love Pop? He loves his Pop. Oh, but you can't have my glasses. You can't have my glasses. You can't have my glasses. He's my little man. My little man. He's when's he turn 3?
July 25th.
July 25th. That's right. That's my mama's anniversary.
Oh.
You're gonna have to take him. He's trying to get my glasses. I can't concentrate on like more than one thing at a time. All right.
It's okay.
So at what point do you become like, so how many grandkids do you have, Chuck?
I got 4.
So at what point do you become a total pushover? Is that with like the first one?
Very first, yeah.
It is
So
the first one.
First, he became someone that I didn't even know. Like,
Yeah.
Person. No clue who he is anymore.
It's because he was already worn down with the last 2 kids.
Hey, they wore me out.
It's the kids don't always see it, but I think it's a gentle transition. I think those like last few kids just wear you down just enough. It's like a stone that's in the river. It was sharper when it was in there for a while at first, and then that water just kept going over.
Oh yeah.
And after all that streams, the water just breaks it down little by little, and then it's a smooth stone. Yeah, we've just become these big smooth stones that just get.
Thank you.
This was probably not a good idea. But then again, I like I said, I'm a pushover. I mean, from day one with this knucklehead right here, she was number 1. So she's and she's the only girl. So you can imagine how rotten she is.
I have, 8 kids and 1 girl. That's all I've got. Now I'm getting daughter-in-laws now, which is nice.
Yeah.
But I mean, my only girl graduated on Friday, my third in the line of 8. And I will tell you, I probably cried way more than I probably would have I did with any of the other ones. But yeah, for sure. I was very emotional. It was just really an emotional weekend.
I'm not with Charity. She was my first, and I never really cared, all that graduation stuff. Never, but when she got married, I want you to know that hit me hard. What are you doing, knucklehead? And it didn't hit me, which I officiated the wedding, and all that was fine. I was good and everything, but when they took off in the car, leaving, I was like, I was a mess. I didn't like that at all. Yeah. And then she keeps coming back. I got rid of her, but she keeps coming back.
We always come back. Okay. The kids always come back.
And that's fine. That's fine. I want them to come back. And
yep.
She comes back and takes all my food.
Well, that's, my son, Caleb, and his wife, they come over every weekend and they spend one of the days with us. And then we go next door to my in-laws and we hang out there. And I love it. I love every weekend with them. A lot of times that's why I'm not on YouTube on Saturday nights, because Saturday night is my family time with my kids. If my son is going to be here with his wife, I'm there. I'm all in as much as possible. So I try not to, be absent.
how far is Caleb from you? Is it Caleb you said?
Caleb, my oldest, he's only like 20 minutes from my house. They live in town. We live outside of town and they live in town, right outside of Dallas. So yeah, they just live a little bit. So it's not too bad for gas.
Well, that's great. Charity lives about 45 minutes or so, 50 minutes away. And then my son, my oldest son that's married, they live probably about 40 minutes away. So it's not too far, but they're in different directions. Yeah. Hello, Callie Homestead.
And fish.
Well, my dad moved down here. My sister lives here now with me, and she moved here right after we did. And she lives about 25 minutes from me, and she lives a little north. And then we basically broke my dad down over the years and convinced him that he should move to Texas as well. So my dad just moved here in September of last year. Oh, Greenville or Grenville. Was it Grenville or Greenville? 12 Stones. Because we live literally
Greenville.
We live like 40 minutes down from Greenville in Texas, North Texas. So, but my dad moved like 15 minutes away from me. So it's lovely. So I have my dad here, my sister's here, Eric's parents live next door. And yeah, I couldn't be happier with that.
I imagine so. Now, how long have you been living in Texas?
It's going to be 8 years in August.
8 years. Okay. It's a different world down here, isn't it?
It is an amazingly different world.
Yeah.
It's so good. Oh, 12 Stones. 12 Stones lives in Greenville or near Greenville. That's amazing because that's really close to us.
Y'all just practically neighbor. Isn't it amazing how YouTube does that?
Yeah, it's really awesome to know people that live that close because we Jesus Loving Homesteader, Carmen over there. We've been, visited with each other several times. She lives maybe 20 minutes south of me. I love it. I love being able to be so close to people.
Are you having fun?
She's feeling your beard.
When you just get used to it. Most of the time I don't even notice it. They climbing all over and I'm just kind of going about my beard. I don't even notice most of the time, but that brings up a point that I've actually been thinking on for several weeks now. And I guess I've let it depress me a little bit. And I don't.
Let me get out.
Oh, you want to get down? Oh, no. But I thought about what if this YouTube stuff kind of, everything comes and goes, especially in the computer world. There's things that last a few years, but eventually something else takes its place.
Yep.
And I just got to thinking, I said, it would totally make me sad to lose all y'all folks on here. It's just that, just the thought of if it just went blank, I wouldn't. I mean, there's a few people I've got their numbers and all that, but a lot of people that I keep up with and I like to see, they would be gone forever. I wouldn't know how to get in touch with them.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think it's important though. That's especially the people that are close to you, like actually people that you make connections with on, Instagram or Facebook or YouTube. If you make those physical connections with them too, like you said, or get their texting number, like for instance, right now, if YouTube went away, we would still have personal connections with like Troy over at Bar Run Forge. Wow. Him and Eric will shoot texts to each other because they've been able to talk about the Lord together. They've been able to have those like-minded conversations. And I think that it's one of those things that, if for some reason this went away, it would be so sad. But there's a part of it that I would be so thankful because I have those personal connections with so many people that you can look at your phone and say, okay, well, maybe I can still text this person. If you had electronics still, if YouTube went away, but you still had a phone, the cool thing is I could still get to so many of these people that I needed to, and reach out to them for help or questions or just conversation. So there's a group on Facebook that I'm a part of that's about this area. It's like the North Texas group for homesteaders, and there's a lot of YouTubers in and out of there, and they do like meetups and they do like work days and they come together as homesteaders. And I'm like, man, that is such a great idea. It is such a good idea. And we've talked, Eric and I have thrown around the idea of trying to do something here with some of the people that are right in this area to just say, hey, let's get together so that if something happened and we didn't have a bigger, broader YouTube world, we would at least know each other in this area.
I hadn't met too many people down here. I mean, I know a few, I met the Gossmania homestead a couple of weeks ago. I know the Deep South homestead. You might have heard of Deep South down here, and then Raised and Ronnie. I guess there's a couple that I don't know about, but it would just sadden me no end if I wasn't able to talk to people. You form that connection with them, and let me say sorry.
Well, I think it fills your cup. One of the things that Eric and I talk about always is, we talked about the 5 love languages when we first got married. We went to a marriage conference and we learned about the 5 love languages. And Eric always says, me loading the dishwasher, did it fill your love tank? Did it fill your cup? And we always joke with each other. But I really think that for me, good morning, YouTube fills my cup to a certain degree. It really does. Like the connections, the conversations, the interactions like this fills a part of my cup that I need that I didn't always have before YouTube. Because I'm home with my kids and I'm not out in the workforce. I'm not out seeing people, talking to people like this on a regular basis. And for me, this was a new avenue, and it really does fill my cup.
You homeschool, right?
I do.
We homeschool. Well, we did. We didn't do it all the time, but we did it on different occasions with our kids growing up. And then, of course, my oldest ones wanted to start playing sports and stuff like that. And when we got to an area that was a good area for a good school district for the kids, Belinda actually started going to work because she'd work at the school in the office where the kids were going to school. And then if we had to, as a preacher, I've had to move a good little bit, but if it was an area that we didn't feel comfortable, we'd homeschool them or whatever. But every time we put them into the public school, they always tested like 2 or 3 grades over. Yeah. And we used, I don't know what program, what curriculum y'all use, but we always used a Becca. And it always seemed to prepare them pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't use a particular program. I started with a Becca with my oldest because that was just kind of what you did, right. 15 years ago, everybody was using a Becca. That was like what was there, but there's so much out there now. So I really use more of a, my friends call it unschooling, but I mean, I homeschool my kids, but they call it more of a loose unschooling where I'm very much eclectic. I'll grab certain books. I grab what I know fits their learning style and we go from there. And we homeschool year round so that my kids never know what grade they're in, really. They just know they're a certain age and that they should be in a certain grade. They know their grade because they're in Sunday school. That's the only reason why they know what grade they're in, because we homeschool through the year. So in the summertime, they're still actively in a grade level with me. Right. And so there's no real transition until they get to Sunday school, and the Sunday school moves them up and I'm like, yay, you're in a new grade. But we just kind of use whatever fits. And I like to go with that kid because I've noticed that some of my kids have some learning disabilities and they didn't get that from me. That's hereditary from Eric. And so, just saying, I'm throwing Eric out there. No,
I was joking when I said we'd talk about him.
I told him we were going to talk about. No, actually, I noticed when Eric and I got married, we were 18 and 19, and he went to school the following year after we got married, and he was doing his schoolwork, and I was going to school for elementary education, and I noticed that he wasn't able to comprehend what he was reading, and he'd say, Monica, I need some help with this. He was going to school for HVAC, for air conditioning, heating, and all that. And it was a trade school. And he was reading his book and he was like, Monica, I'm struggling. I need your help. And I was like, what do you need me to do? He's like, I need you to read this with me. Just shy of me reading out loud, I'm struggling. So I said, okay. So I would read with him his handbook, his actual textbook for college, for his, class. I would read it with him and he would absorb it and consume it better. He could finally answer the questions. He would finally comprehend what he was reading when I would read it out loud. And so we listened to some of we learned very slowly but surely that he probably has and had in school dyslexia. Right. And so his brother was tested for dyslexia and they found out he had it. And now I'm watching my children, some of them, go through very similar occurrences. And I don't need to get them tested. It doesn't matter to me what learning disability they have. It's just the fact that I can see certain qualities coming through that Eric very clearly demonstrated to me, 20 years ago. And so I'm like, okay, now I know how I can kind of work around this to teach them better. So I always just tell the kids that they inherited anything like that from dad. So
how many children did you say you had? You told me, but
I have 8.
Listening out that one. 8?
I have 8. Yeah.
Well, you ought to get good practice at figuring out.
Yeah. But that's the thing, I appreciate Eric because he's an incredibly intelligent man. He struggled in school for a long time. And then I think once he figured out the style of learning, and once I kind of worked with him, we both worked together and we kind of figured out how he learned, he realized that he could get through the things that he was struggling with all those years before. And now he has his master's degree in theology and, he went through college, he went through and he got his bachelor's and his master's and he did all that, but he did it on his own terms. And he did it so that he knew, that he could work at his pace. So, yeah.
You can, and I'm not just blowing smoke, but I when I watch the videos and I listen to y'all's lives and listen, y'all, if you're in the chat and you're not subscribed to Bland's Promised Land Ranch, you got to do it. If nothing else, do it for their lives. They are so hilarious. They really have a good time when they get together, and especially when both of them get together. Eric and Monica, they're good to listen to. Fun folks. But
we hold things back long enough that we can, pick on each other on Thursdays, like during the week. It's funny because, I had been told that we banter sometimes too much, that I'm a little rough on him. But I will say that, my husband is my number one. God, husband, then children. No one comes besides the Lord. It's only Eric. My kids, they're going to come and they're going to go. My kids will leave. I will kiss them goodbye and they will get married or they will have their own life one day. But my husband will be here.
Right.
And so he is my number one guy, my number one person. So as much as I banter and we joke and we tease on each other, we kind of save that all up for Thursday nights. We might as well, right? It's like Thursday therapy. So, but yeah, we enjoy ourselves.
And unless you just are the type of person that takes things too seriously, I look at it and I don't take any of that, and I can see your relationship through that, and the kind of relationship that you have, that you love one another. And I've actually had people get mad at me because I would, I say I love my wife. She's my world. If I had to choose between my wife and my kids, my kids would have to go. I just love my wife. God put us together. We're one. Blah blah blah. And I'm like you. One day my kids are going to leave. Now, I love my kids, don't y'all?
Well, they'll be back, but they will leave, and you can lock the door behind them this time.
And you can, but they got a key.
That's true.
Or they know
you got to get one of them slide latches, Chuck. One of the slide latches.
Hey, you can't keep a child out. They have already learned how to escape in and out the house in the growing up years. So no, I do. I agree. As far as and something, me and Belinda's been married. We'll be married 30 years in July the 4th will be 30 years, and she expects me to do something for her. I don't know why. Something about
That's because it's 3 decades. That's 3 decades of your life.
I don't like the way you put that. You talking a quarter of a century, 3 decades.
3 decades. That's a long time she's been married to you. You better do something special.
1 year is a long time to be married to me. Just ask her. But one thing I have learned, and it took me a long time to learn it, and I know this conversation get a little bit more serious than I generally get them, but it took me a long time. I always thought I loved her. When I said I do, I loved her, if that makes sense. I thought I did. And as we, grew and the years, we had our ups and downs, blah, 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 just like everybody else. That's 2 humans, you're going to have disagreements. But sometime, I don't know how many years ago, but I came to the realization that I love her, but I've got to love her. I've got to show her I love her. It's got to be, I don't even know how to explain it in my mind, but there was a deeper, I'm horrible at this.
Well, I feel like, no, I think you have a point. Because see, I like to call myself busy. I'm very busy, scattered, whatever you want to call it, ADHD brain. I can go from one thing to another very quickly and forget about the other thing. So I could put a kid in the corner and say, you stand in the corner, I'll be back for you. And that kid knows they could be there for an hour. Okay. I'm just going to be for real. I'm going to go to the bathroom and brush my teeth. I'm going to run outside and rewater the animals. I'm going to come inside, make myself a glass of iced tea, and then go, oh, there's a kid there. Oh, you can get there. I hope you thought about why you got to the corner. And they're like, yeah, mom. Great. Thanks. So that's me. But I also have to physically tell myself, Eric needs you to hold his hand. Eric he loves that physical connection, that physical touch. Eric needs you to put his arm around him. He needs you to hug him. Eric needs you to tell him, hey, I hope you're having a good day. I love you today. He needs those things. And so I've learned how to love him on his level.
You need to fill his love tank.
I need to fill his love tank.
By doing the dishes.
But I've learned to love him differently than what I see love. I don't see love I do, but I've learned how he loves, and I've learned how I love. And it's just been so cool to see that over the years, because you're right. When we first got married, I was like, I do. And then, yeah. And then you're married for a few years and you're like, okay, this is fun. And it stays fun, but you always have those ups and downs. But when you learn about that person and how they love, and it's just easier and harder and all wonderful. So, yeah.
I had a trouble, and a lot of guys probably do. We can talk about Eric too. But I had a problem understanding that in the sense that I'm a logical person. I'm like, okay, this fixes the problem. Just do this. Yeah. And especially when Belinda had the children, she suffered with a lot of the after effects of that, the post something, whatever you call it. Yeah. She suffered that pretty bad, and I didn't understand it. I was like, why are you crying? It makes no sense. Is not everything great? Mm-hmm. We're not dying. Bills are paid. The kids are happy. Well, why are you miserable? Why are you making our lives miserable? Why? And I just didn't understand it. And I would try and fix it. And I would say, you got to do this. You got to do that. And of course, as a preacher, I'd always go to Bible and scripture and stuff. And she'd say, Monica, she's gotten to the point that she said, I've got this problem. I don't want you to quote Bible to me.
And I'm saying, it is. That's a real problem in marriages where you have a pastor and a pastor's wife, because I'll do the same thing with Eric. He'll say, well, scripturally, and I'm like, look, dude, I love you so much, but I need you just to hear me for a second. Just hear me. This is me, all peoply, all fleshly. I'm just sad for a second. I'm just angry. I need you to be like, I need you to be like that person that's in high school that wants to kick their butts too, just for like a second. And then you can take me to scripture. But can you just be on my team for a minute? Like, can you be on my team?
Yeah.
But I get it. Yeah, I get it.
Sarah, good morning. She says, good morning, everyone. Sorry I missed most of this. I'm on farm duties by myself. Seems like I'm missing a good combo. Sarah, me and Monica has been sitting on here near about 45, 50 minutes wondering when you would hop in.
We were waiting for you.
We had everything on hold. And there's Misha. She, her too. I mean, we like, why even have a live if they're not going to be here?
Yeah, it's almost 10 for me. I mean, like, where you been?
Where you been? I mean, well, you just want to come in, pop in late, say hi, and think that's going to be good enough? No, we're going to keep you here another hour. No, going back to it. I learned, and I'm dumb. I learned that sometimes Belinda, she don't want an explanation. She don't want a solution. She don't want me to solve the problem. She just wants me to put my arm around her and say, it'll be fine.
Yep.
And that just drives me crazy. It does, because I'm like, let's fix this problem. Let's and all she wants to do is, just let me sit here and stew a little bit, and I'll be fine. And then and she's like you, then you can talk scripture to me.
Yeah. And that's the thing. You can script. There's a place for that. But let me be in my anger for like a second. I'm not being angry at no one else. I'm not putting it on anybody. I just need to be in my head for a second. And then you can come into my head and help me through. But I don't need your help yet. I just need you to be here.
Yeah.
because you don't want to go everywhere else and spew all that to everyone else. You just need your husband. And Eric is very logical too. He is very logical. He doesn't get it. And sometimes I'll just sit in my garden and mope. And he's like, why are you in your garden being angry? I'm like, because I want to just listen to my podcast and be angry for a second. I'll talk to you in a minute. Just let me be mad. So
I get that from Eric. I see that in him, and I understand it. I mean, I connect in that form, because I know exactly when he looks at you sometimes during y'all's lives and some of the things, I'm like, I know exactly what you're doing, but just shut up, Eric. Just shut up.
Well, I think, and here's the thing. He's prepared though. See, God has prepared him so beautifully to be my husband, because when I was in labor with my fourth baby, it was back labor and it was awful. It was awful. And I was in so much pain. I was climbing out of my skin. And I said, I can't do this. And I've never said, hi. I've never said I can't do this before in any of my other labors. And he looked at me and said, you can. And I said, I just can't. And he said, it's okay. He said, but I have something for you. You tell me when you're ready. And when I was ready, I told him, okay, now I'm ready. And he pulled out his phone back in 2008, because they weren't like super popular then, but they were popular. He pulls out his phone and he opened up a little note page, and he had scripture that God had given him for weeks leading up to this. And he just read through the scripture that God gave him. I said, okay, that was good, because that was the time. I needed it then. But at the moment that I said I couldn't do it, and he was like, I have something for you, but you tell me when you're ready. And I'm like, thank you for knowing me. Because if he would have just started blaring off scripture, I'd have been like, shut up. Sorry.
Get the hand up there.
Yeah. And I don't tell people to shut up. That's like not a good thing. I don't say that around here. I'm like, shh, no more. Don't talk to me. But no, he was right. Timing was everything. So God is good.
I got in trouble when I pastored a church over in Louisiana, where I grew up. Mm-hmm. I graduated high school over there, and just so happened I got called back over there. And in a fit of insanity, I don't know what happened. I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to do some substitute teaching. That was the stupidest thing. I mean, I can't teach. I made my kids cry teaching them algebra.
I substituted for years, so I get it. Like substitute
you did it
at the whole level.
I'm in here trying to teach these middle school knuckleheads that, I mean, they're evil. I don't know.
Yeah, middle
And-
school's really bad. That's hard. That's a hard
It's
age.
like seventh grade too. It's like the worst of the worst. And y'all behave. And I'm in there and they noise, and I'm like, all right, y'all, calm down, settle down, calm down. Everybody, get to your seat. Get down off the wall. Blah blah blah.
Mhm.
And then I just said, shut up. You'd have thought that I had created done some great sin of some sort. I was like, they all turned and looked at me. They all got quiet, and they said, "You're not supposed to say that." I said, "Why not?" They said, you can't say the S word. I'm like, are you kidding me? Y'all have lost your mind. I say whatever I want to. I don't care. I don't need this job. I'll go home. You can teach yourself for all I care.
Well, and that's the thing. When my kids, I'm a yeller because I'm loud anyway. I project my voice. I'm not a yeller in a bad way. I project my voice. And because I ran summer camps. I did summer camps when we first got married. I would do summer work. So I would work at these summer camps, and I needed to project my voice. I had like 120 kids one year, and I'm like yelling, but I'm not really yelling. So I learned how to like really project. And so if I need the kids, I will yell from one corner of the house to another. And Eric's like, could you not just walk over there? I'm like, no, I couldn't. I can't just walk over there. I need them to stop what they're doing and listen to me.
Terminology though, I'm not yelling, I'm projecting.
Yeah, I'm projecting. I'm projecting my voice. I'm just loud. And when I'm really trying to get their attention, I use my hand megaphone. This.
Oh no, you don't do the hand megaphone?
This works. See, I just got louder. That works. And my kids are like, Mom, that's insulting. I'm like, it's not insulting. It's a megaphone. Listen up. And they just laugh at me.
I do the old, can you see what's in there? Look, it's a no. They don't like that either.
That's a good one. I'm going to have to try that
I
one.
pull out my ear. What I got in my ear? Oh, it's a no.
That's good. My 5-year-old's going to like that today. He's going to really enjoy that because
you come up with all kind of stuff.
that's a good one. Yeah, that's a really good one.
I've got kids. I don't know what happened. What caused me to be so blessed?
Look, all my kids are still quiet somewhere. So I don't know, either something bad is happening or they just overslept. It's really overcast here. So sometimes my boys, if we were up late last night, which we were up late last night, my boys will slowly wake up in the morning. So I have a feeling, even though it's 10 o'clock, I have a feeling they're still rolling out of bed, walking in slow motion out there. So it's like super quiet here. I'm like, ooh, this is good.
I got tickled. I guess it's when y'all's live is on Thursday night at 8 o'clock Central.
Yes.
8 o'clock Central. So if y'all mark that down because you want to go there. Oh, and another thing I mentioned earlier, I said how sad it would be if I lost contact, whatever. If YouTube shut down, social media shut down, whatever, how sad I'd be. My phone number is in my about page. I don't care. Y'all write it down. And if YouTube shuts down, you'll have it. And then you call me. Now, don't call me any other time. No, I'm just kidding.
Now, you're in, where are you? What state are you in?
Mississippi.
You are in Mississippi. Okay.
Mississippi, great state of Mississippi.
I'm driving 20 all the way through the southern states to head to my mom's. She has a house in Florence, South Carolina.
Okay.
So I'm driving Route 20 all the way over, and I'm stopping off and seeing Casey from Ormsby Farms in Georgia on my way down. So I told Eric, I said, I'm gonna have to try to find some other YouTubers that live close to 20 that I can just pop off and go say hi to people. Now I'm just going to start like finding people that I can pop off. He's like, that would be a fun trip. I said, I have to see.
It would be a fun trip. You coming down Interstate 20, you'll come through Vicksburg and Jackson and all that.
Yeah. We stopped in Vicksburg last year. We were so excited. We loved it. My kids just adored it. And my daughter took a picture of the Welcome to Vicksburg's wall. There's a wall there that has like the white graffiti paint on it. And she took a picture of it. And the Vicksburg Instagram page for the city of Vicksburg actually reached out to her and said, can we use your photo? And she was like, yes, you can. So yeah, but we stopped in Vicksburg. We loved it there.
Vicksburg is a nice little place.
Yeah, it was cute.
And I know you probably don't watch it, but we had like some videos where we was catfishing. And
I hadn't seen. I saw it on the playlist. I was looking through your playlist, what I hadn't seen or what I hadn't watched before.
When you come out of Vicksburg, like going toward Jackson, on about halfway, you're gonna cross over a river called the Big Black River, and that is where we are, or that's where we were. Yeah, I fished under that interstate before years ago, but anyway, I know you'll forget that when you come through. But if just so happened you see the Big Black River, you say, I know somebody that fished on that river. In fact, coming from Vicksburg, if you look to the left, you can actually see the camp where we stay.
Oh, that's cool. See, I will remember that stuff because that's kind of my jam. Like when we drive someplace, my kids are allowed to have certain things. They're allowed to have books and electronics. But when we drive places, I'm always about talking to them about what the history is in that area. Because I homeschool. That's part of me. Living history is my favorite, and being able to tell people about people that I know or that I've met or that we know, or that, this is a historic place. We're always talking while we're driving. So
they actually had a Civil War battle right there where we camp. Across the river. A buddy of mine, they got like a rock ledge. When the water goes down, gets out on that rock ledge, they got cracks and stuff, and they found all kind of stuff like little musket balls and.
That's cool. Well, we went to a little. There's a museum there in Vicksburg, a little tiny museum there. It's super cute. I love it to death. Like it's the cutest thing. And we were in there, and it was the most beautiful little museum. And then we went down and walked along the water, the murals that are there in Vicksburg. And my kids they loved it. So I'm excited to be able to go through there again. Plus, there's a Chick-fil-A in town, so we had to stop.
I don't know what he means by this.
Scott's throwing some shade today.
He's throwing from the hip there. That's harsh, man.
Grain-free homesteads in Kentucky.
I appreciate you coming in, Monica.
Thank you for having me.
I generally go an hour, and I've gone a little bit over because I wasn't so worried about Andale. I generally try and get off so people can go over to Andale. Now, y'all still doing the round the hay bale?
We are. It's a podcast only now, so we do little teasers on Mondays, and you can listen to us on podcast every Monday. Season 2 is in full swing. I think we're on episode 9. We did yesterday, I think came out. It's either episode 8 or 9. And we actually talked to Janie over at Dig Plant Water Repeat. We talked about summer gardening and how to take care of your plants during the summertime. So, different ways to make sure, in your high heat of summer in a lot of different places, how you care for that. Because, she's in California. And so it was really cool to talk to someone in a very different climate, but not that different. We talked about, plant and garden care over the summer. So we're having a really good time with the podcast. It's been really fun. And I'm really enjoying it. We record on Wednesday nights, and then they come out a few weeks later. So yeah, we're having a good time with it.
That's a foreign concept to me. A podcast, you just hearing it, you're just listening.
Yeah. Well, I love it because I don't have to have a visual, because then I can listen to it. I can put my phone in my pocket and I can go in the garden, or I can listen while I'm driving. If I have to go into town for something, when I go into town, it's easily a 20-minute trip, and I can listen to something besides the radio. Now I do listen to, it's either praise and worship music or it's my podcast or another podcast. So yeah, for sure. I enjoy podcasts. That's been a thing that I've started really enjoying recently.
And I apologize for all my little distractions.
Don't apologize. Never, ever apologize.
In and out.
Those are the most beautiful distractions to have.
They are that. He's my little man. But I do appreciate you coming in, and give our best to Eric and your 400 children.
Thank you for having me.
It was a pleasure, and I hope I didn't get too serious on you with all this and I don't want anybody going off and telling my wife I love her. Okay, she don't need to hear that.
Yeah, it goes right to their heads.
Goes right to their head.
Yeah,
California, she used to volunteer there. Hobby.
that's so cool. Oh, that's cool.
And where to begin? Appreciate y'all coming. Look, I appreciate all of y'all in the chat. Next week, and it's going to be a little bit different next week. Tony from Kettle Kitchen is going to be with us, but he's like 2 hours behind us. So if it'll be 9 here, it'll be 7 where he's at.
I think he's on the East Coast, right?
No, he's on the West Coast. He's up in Washington.
Oh, he's in West Coast. Oh, Washington. Okay, that's right.
Yeah. So he's way behind. He's a couple hours behind us.
That's right.
But so he's going to be able to come on the first part of our time here. So you got to get here early. He wants to tell about his Jam It Up June, and but he's going to have to go, get his kids, take his kids somewhere about partway into it. So we're going to go from that into probably just open it up to anybody that wants to join and come up on the screen and help me not look so boring and dumb.
I don't know. I don't know that you could ever be boring, Chuck. Nope.
Well, just ask my kids. They say I'm boring. They say I'm an old man. Y'all say hi.
Hi.
That's my youngest. Y'all, there's 2 of my knuckleheads.
This is my child.
Hi.
Knucklehead. There's my oldest son.
Child by association.
I got all of them here except for my youngest daughter, and she's working. She's the only one that's got a job. Oh, I'm kidding. They all do.
Oh my goodness.
But they're not all working right now. But anyway, next week, make sure you be here. And yeah, watch the replay, share it, do all that kind of stuff. Monica, again, thank you so much for being here with us. And
thank you for having me. I really appreciate you.
I hope you have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Listen to your podcast. Get you some praise and worship going.
There you go.
All right.
See ya.
Thank y'all so much. We appreciate all y'all coming, and we'll talk to y'all next week. God bless.